Chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment. Everything around you has gone still because heaven is speaking directly to your spirit. This is not an algorithm, this is appointment. You have felt it all week, a stirring, a pull, a whisper that says, something is coming. And indeed, it is. This Tuesday carries divine pursuit. Wealth, opportunity, and favor are not behind you. They are chasing you, God says. Stop running from what I've already commanded to find you. You've asked for breakthrough, cried for clarity, questioned the delay. Yet when blessings start to move in your direction, fear tries to convince you to step aside. You have mistaken humility for hiding. You've prayed for increase but stayed small when it knocked. But heaven is declaring today enough running. You were born to stand still long enough for divine wealth to locate you. The Word of God declares in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 2. All these blessings will come upon you and overtake you if you obey the Lord your God. Do you feel that overtake you? That means you don't chase it, it chases you. This Tuesday is not random. It is marked. Heaven's schedule includes your name. There is a shift happening in the unseen, and the flow of divine wealth is changing direction. You've been sowing in tears, but now the harvest is running toward you with laughter. You've wondered why the doors that opened for others stayed closed for you. The reason is simple. Your time was sacred. God was building capacity in you so that when wealth came, it would not drown you, it would crown you. Every season of lack taught you how to lead with gratitude. Every disappointment was a classroom where you learned the language of discernment. You are not entering this next phase naive. You are entering equipped, chosen one. The wealth coming toward you is not limited to currency. It is the wealth of revelation, of relationships, of creative ideas. It is influence that opens hearts, not just bank accounts. Divine wealth is about stewardship, not status. Heaven doesn't bless you to impress, it blesses you to impact. You will soon see how what looked like delay was actually strategy. This Tuesday, you must become still enough to notice the signs of pursuit. Watch for divine winks, an unexpected message, an inspired idea, a sudden burst of peace that doesn't make sense. That peace is wealth in its first form. When you stop running, you start receiving. When you stop striving, you start aligning. You are stepping into a week of recognition. Heaven has taken inventory of your obedience, and the reward is on its way. Don't sabotage this moment by doubting your worth. The enemy wants you to believe that you must earn every blessing. But grace says otherwise. This isn't about merit, it's about position. Stand where you've been planted and hold your ground in faith and let the blessings run you down. Chosen one. Every movement of heaven is intentional. What feels like coincidence is coordination. Every detail is synchronized for your elevation. Do not shrink back when abundance appears larger than your plans. You are not being overwhelmed. You are being upgraded into divine purpose. This Tuesday, walk differently. Speak gratitude before you see results. Expect favor to arrive disguised as ordinary moments. Heaven often hides miracles in plain sight, waiting for the chosen to recognize them. Let your awareness become worship and your confidence become testimony. The atmosphere around you is already changing. Angels of assignment move swiftly where faith stands firm. Your obedience today will echo through generations tomorrow. Stay alert, stay humble, stay ready because the overtaking has already begun. So receive this confirmation, not with fear but with bold joy. Heaven has found you faithful. The chase is over. Stand still. Open your heart and let divine wealth embrace you completely. Comment the number 777 below if you receive it in faith. Hear me, divine wealth is not chasing arrogance. It's chasing assignment. God invests where he gets return, and you, chosen one, are his return. Every prayer, every seed, every act of kindness has created spiritual momentum that is now catching up to you. You won't need to force what's already in motion. This is your moment to shift from panic to peace, from running to receiving. Heaven's command has gone forth. The angels assigned to provision are already moving, carrying resources that have your name written across them. Prepare space in your spirit, unclean the clutter of unbelief. When Tuesday dawns, rise with expectancy. Speak out loud, I am positioned to be overtaken by blessing. Words are gates, open yours with faith. So if this message resonates in your soul, don't let it pass silently. Like this word, if your heart bears witness, share it with someone who needs to stop running from their promise, and subscribe to remain connected to future prophetic releases. Then, as a symbol of agreement and alignment with heaven's timing, declare it publicly. Comment the number 777 below to say, I will stop running divine wealth. Find me this Tuesday. You have always known you were different, haven't you, from childhood? Something about you didn't blend in. You saw patterns others ignored, felt weight others didn't notice, and carried dreams that didn't fit the small spaces you were placed in. You tried to blend in, to silence that voice inside that whispered, you are meant for more, but it never stopped. Because you were never built for ordinary, your design was divine, and heaven has been shaping you for a wealth that matches your calling. There were times when your difference made you ache. You looked at people who seemed carefree, unbothered, simple in their pursuits. You wondered why your path had to be steep, why your heart carried burdens that others never felt. But chosen ones always walk paths carved by purpose, not comfort. The resistance you faced was not rejection, it was refinement. You were being prepared to carry what common hearts could not contain. Scripture whispers in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Those words are not just ancient poetry, they are your biography. You were seen before you were visible. Heaven's blueprint of you was drawn with precision, every gift measured, every test allowed, every wound permitted for transformation. What you've called struggle was often the sculpting of destiny. You have mistaken loneliness for abandonment, but heaven never left you. Isolation was not punishment, it was incubation. The divine had to separate you so that you wouldn't conform to the patterns that kill vision. While others were busy chasing applause, heaven was teaching you endurance in silence. You were not being overlooked. You were being observed by eternity. There is a reason your presence disrupts mediocrity. Your very aura carries the frequency of destiny. That's why people have misunderstood you. They sensed your magnitude but couldn't name it. They labeled you too intense, too ambitious, too sensitive. But those were the words of those who feared what they couldn't define. You carry spiritual authority disguised as human sensitivity. You see what others ignore. And that sight makes you responsible. Chosen one. Divine wealth has always been attracted to difference. Heaven doesn't pour gold into imitation. It invests in authenticity. Your uniqueness is the vault that heaven deposits its treasures into. Every time you tried to downplay your light to make others comfortable, you slowed your own inheritance. God is not calling you to arrogance, He's calling you to awareness. You cannot receive what you continue to reject in yourself. Remember, this destiny doesn't chase crowds, it chases clarity. The moment you accept who you are in full, both your grace and your grit, you become magnetized to divine opportunity. You stop striving and start aligning. Wealth, favor, and influence flow naturally toward identity that is settled. Heaven funds authenticity, not imitation. This Tuesday, as divine wealth continues to pursue you, it will locate not your mask but your essence. The real you, the one you hide behind responsibility and fear, is the version heaven recognizes. You must make peace with your own light. You cannot receive what you keep apologizing for. You cannot step into overflow while holding on to self-doubt like a comfort blanket. The time for apology has ended. You were set apart, not set aside. The fire that burned inside you when everyone else settled for survival, that was God's signal that you were built for legacy. Do not be ashamed of the divine tension in your soul. It's the mark of the called, the evidence that eternity has already claimed you. Look back for a moment, not with regret, but with recognition. See how even your detours carried divine fingerprints. The people who left taught you to stand alone. The doors that closed taught you to build your own. The seasons of silence taught you to hear heaven more clearly. Nothing was wasted. Every disappointment was a seed buried in the soil of preparation. And now, that preparation is about to pay dividends. The version of you that was hidden, questioned, and doubted is emerging in full glory. The difference you once despised will become your defining distinction. Divine wealth is drawn to that authenticity because heaven only blesses what reflects its own truth. So, chosen one, stand in your difference like it's armor. Stop explaining your calling to those who haven't heard their own. Stop shrinking to fit rooms you've outgrown. The wealth that's coming is customized for your identity, not your disguise. It will recognize you only when you walk in truth. You are not behind schedule. You are right on divine time. Everything you lost was replaced with something incorruptible: wisdom, resilience, discernment. These are the true currencies of divine wealth. And soon, the material will follow the spiritual. What is invisible now will become visible, tangible, undeniable. Heaven has waited for you to realize that being different was never a curse. It was always your confirmation. You were never ordinary, and that is precisely why divine wealth is chasing you now. You have wondered why, if you are chosen, the blessings have taken so long to arrive. You have prayed, fasted, given, and waited, but it felt like heaven was silent. Yet what you called delay was never denial. It was divine development. The waiting was working something inside you that wealth alone could not teach. Heaven's timing is not slow, it is strategic. Every tear, every closed door, every lonely night served a purpose. God was not withholding abundance from you, He was preparing you to handle it without self-destruction. Sometimes, He doesn't give it yet because He wants you to know the difference between need and greed. Between calling and craving. On you had to be emptied before you could be trusted with overflow. The ancient words recorded in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, echo across time, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. All things, not some. That means even the losses, even the rejections, even the missed opportunities were ingredients in your elevation. The enemy thought he was delaying you, but he was actually helping heaven finish your training. Divine wealth cannot fall into unready hands. It needs maturity to multiply. Chosen one, remember the times when you thought you failed. You didn't fail, you were being refined. Your character was being forged like steel. Every disappointment became a hammer shaping your destiny. When heaven gives wealth, it doesn't come with apology, it comes with responsibility. You're not just being blessed for yourself, you're being positioned as a conduit for others. You see, divine wealth doesn't enter chaos, it enters order, and order begins within. The silence you experienced wasn't God ignoring you, it was heaven waiting for you to silence your own storm. When your heart became still enough to listen, that's when instruction began to flow again. The moments of stillness were not wasted. They were the moments your spirit grew strong roots. Heaven delayed visible results to protect you from premature exposure. If you had received abundance too early, your insecurity would have turned it into idolatry. But now, you have learned that money is not your master purpose, opportunity is not your source, obedience is what you are finally ready for wealth that will not ruin you. You've been praying for open doors, but the truth is heaven was building new ones inside you. Every discipline you learned, every boundary you set, every no you had the courage to say, all of it constructed the framework of a life capable of sustaining divine success. That's why some blessings seem delayed. They were waiting for your structure to strengthen. The delay was divine because it was teaching you distinction. You now know how to tell the difference between counterfeit connections and kingdom alignments. You now recognize that not every opportunity is a calling. Heaven had to teach you discernment before delivery. So this Tuesday, as divine wealth continues to chase you, understand this truth: it's not chasing the old version of you, it's chasing the refined one. The one who no longer panics, who no longer begs for validation, who trusts that what is meant for them will never miss them. This delay has carved out depth inside you. That depth is now the vault where divine wealth will dwell. The lessons learned in silence have become your unseen equity. You've stored up spiritual wealth, and heaven is ready to convert it into visible form. When others see your breakthrough, they will call it sudden. But you will know it was years in the making. Heaven suddenly is built on years of quiet obedience. Nothing was wasted. Everything was woven. Chosen one, lift your head. Stop resenting the time it took. You are walking proof that delay can be divine. You are no longer behind, you are on the edge of manifestation. Now seal this truth in your heart and affirm it publicly. Type this in the comments: I trust God's timing. Say it not as a phrase, but as a declaration. Every word releases peace into your atmosphere. When you type it, you agree with heaven that the waiting has matured you. And that agreement, that surrender, is what invites divine wealth to finally overtake you. When you write, I trust God's timing, you're not just leaving a comment, you're making a covenant. Those words tell heaven that you surrender striving and embrace the divine schedule designed specifically for your destiny's unveiling. When you declare, I trust God's timing, you silence anxiety's voice. You remind your soul that delay does not mean denial, that every pause carries hidden preparation, and that heaven's pace always protects what is precious. By typing, I trust God's timing, you align your spirit with divine rhythm. You step out of panic and into peace, showing heaven you are ready for blessings that arrive not early, not late, but perfectly. And when your fingers release, I trust God's timing, it becomes a prophetic act. It marks your surrender, your faith, and your readiness for divine wealth to recognize your patience and pour out in perfect season. This Tuesday carries a pulse unlike any other. Heaven has chosen it as a prophetic window, a day where divine alignment meets earthly obedience. There are moments when the unseen realm leans closer, when what was locked behind invisible doors suddenly begins to move toward you. This Tuesday is such a day. It's not superstition, it's synchronization. Heaven's calendar is opening a specific hour of release. You may not feel the shift instantly, but the signs will whisper through your environment. Conversations will feel charged. Ideas will appear uninvited yet perfectly timed. You will sense the acceleration in your spirit before you see it in your surroundings. Because heaven always moves in spirit before it manifests in substance. You are stepping into a corridor where divine wealth is not just promised, it is scheduled. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It hastens toward the goal and it will not fail. Though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. This verse breathes the very rhythm of your Tuesday. Appointed time. That means heaven has already marked your moment. It is not wishful thinking, it's prophetic precision. The wealth, favor, and opportunity that seemed slow were actually waiting for this timestamp. When divine timing arrives, resistance dissolves. The right doors open, not because you pushed harder, but because heaven authorized entry. Chosen one, this Tuesday is more than a date, it's a gate. And gates respond to recognition. You must enter it with awareness, not anxiety. The unaware will treat it like an ordinary day, scrolling through the sacred without perceiving it, but you will know. You'll sense the atmosphere's density, the quiet hum of purpose beneath every interaction. The spiritual air around you will feel thick with possibility. Do not expect loud signs. Heaven often moves in subtlety. The voice of God rarely shouts, it stirs. Listen beneath the noise of routine. This day will test your sensitivity. Can you discern heaven's whisper in the midst of earthly rhythm? The blessing is not hidden from you. It is hidden for you. And your awareness is the key that unlocks it. Every divine window requires posture. The posture for this Tuesday is readiness. Not restless striving, but quiet expectation. Readiness says, I believe something is aligning, even if I can't yet see it. When you walk through the day with that kind of faith, you magnetize miracles. Heaven doesn't chase emotion, it responds to faith. You must understand how sacred alignment works. Heaven does not randomly release wealth, it synchronizes it with readiness. Your spiritual maturity, your obedience, your willingness to act when prompted, all of these converge to create a moment called appointed time. That moment is approaching like dawn. You can already sense the light before it rises. This Tuesday, treat interruptions as invitations. What looks like a distraction may actually be a divine appointment, a message from someone unexpected, a new idea that won't leave your thoughts, a quiet impulse to begin something again. All of these may carry heaven's signature, and do not dismiss the small beginnings. God rarely enters in grand entrances, he enters through obedience. There is a reason divine wealth chooses specific days for release. Heaven respects rhythm. The spiritual world functions like seasons. There are sowing times and reaping times. This Tuesday marks a shift from internal preparation to external manifestation. You are crossing from almost to now. The promises that hovered in potential are descending into reality. Chosen one, you must move differently during this appointed window. Doubt will try to whisper that it's just another Tuesday, but your spirit knows better. This one is weighted with fulfillment. Heaven's movements are rarely dramatic, but always decisive. When this window opens, small steps of obedience will produce massive results. The idea you write down, the conversation you begin, the courage to say yes, all will echo with multiplied return. This Tuesday, time bends in your favor. The ordinary hours become holy ground. Every action, every word, every prayer carries amplified power. Do not rush through it. Pause often. Listen inwardly. Speak intentionally. When heaven is near, even silence becomes a seed. If you could see what's being arranged for you right now, fear would vanish. Divine wealth is being rerouted to your coordinates. What was withheld is being released. Not because you demanded it, but because the moment is right. God never misses his own schedule. When this window opens fully, gratitude will flood your being. You'll understand why every not yet was mercy. The waiting wasn't punishment, it was calibration. The blessing could not arrive until your heart and heaven moved at the same rhythm. And now, that rhythm is perfect. Chosen one, walk through this Tuesday with reverence. Let every breath be worship, every thought a prayer of awareness. You are walking under open heaven, where divine wealth doesn't need your chase, it needs your recognition. The appointed time is now unfolding before your eyes. There comes a moment in every chosen one's journey when God whispers, "Stop running from overflow. You've been faithful in the valley, humble in the drought, patient through delay, but now the river of divine wealth is rising to meet your feet. You don't have to chase it anymore. All you must do is stop long enough to receive it. You prayed for abundance, yet part of you feared what abundance might change. You wondered if success would make you selfish, or if wealth would separate you from simplicity. But divine wealth doesn't corrupt, it corrects. It teaches you to manage heaven's generosity with holy balance. Abundance in God's kingdom doesn't inflate ego. It expands compassion. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 8. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes, its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit. That tree that's you. Unmoved by seasons, untouched by drought, rooted deeply in divine supply. God isn't calling you to chase resources, He's calling you to become a resource. The wealth chasing you this Tuesday is not just for comfort, it's for contribution. You are called to be a living fountain, refreshing others from what heaven pours into you. But many forget this simple truth: even the river flows both ways. The stream that gives also receives from hidden springs beneath. That's how it stays alive. Giving and receiving are not opposites, they are the same motion seen from two angles. When you share what flows through you, you make room for more to enter. So when I speak of giving, I'm not talking about obligation or pressure, I'm talking about participation in divine rhythm. Just as breath must exhale to inhale again, the soul must release to receive. True giving is not loss, it's circulation. It keeps your spirit alive, your blessings fresh, your gratitude active. Many chosen ones feel the stirring to sow back, not out of guilt, but out of recognition. You realize that when something from heaven feeds you, your heart naturally wants to feed it back. That's not manipulation, that's alignment. When your spirit is touched by truth, generosity becomes your reflex. You might see this message, feel the presence of God moving through these words, and think, how can I be part of this flow? The answer is simple: by sharing what you've received. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you extend the reach of the river so another thirsty soul can drink. Every action of support turns this word from a single drop into a widening current that carries healing downstream. And if your heart ever feels led to donate, to pour something back into the spring that poured into you, do it freely, not fearfully. Think of it as placing one pebble into the source, small, quiet, but rippling outward in circles that touch unseen shores. You're not buying a blessing, you're keeping the river alive for others. Your like is a spark, your share is wind spreading the flame. Your subscribe is a promise to walk beside this light again. And your donation is the oil that keeps the lamp burning through the long night. Picture it, a candle lighting another candle. The first flame doesn't grow dim by sharing its fire, it grows brighter through multiplication. Your generosity becomes that light. It's never about the amount, it's about the heart that gives. Even a single spark can warm an entire room when offered with sincerity. So, if this message has stirred something in you, if it has lifted your faith or realigned your focus, take a moment to pass that light forward. Like this message, if your heart bears witness, share it with someone still waiting for dawn. Subscribe to remain connected to future words of awakening. And if you feel peace about it, donate as an act of gratitude to help this flame continue reaching those still in shadow. Your act of support, no matter how small, becomes an echo in eternity. Heaven notices every seed, every share, every simple gesture of faith. God doesn't measure your generosity by the size of your gift, but by the willingness of your heart. And every act of giving, whether time, prayer, or resource, returns multiplied in ways you can't yet see. Chosen one, the river is moving. Let your heart move with it. Receive without resistance, give without guilt, flow without fear. That is the rhythm of divine wealth, the circulation of heaven through human hands. You are not a collector of blessings, you are a carrier of them. So breathe deeply. Smile. You are standing in the current of abundance that has finally caught up with you. And as you remain faithful to share, heaven remains faithful to refill. You are rooted like that tree by the stream, steady, flourishing, fruitful, and free. Chosen one, can you sense it? The atmosphere around you has shifted. The air feels heavier with meaning. Time feels slower, and your spirit is more alert. These are not coincidences, they are signals. Divine wealth is closer than ever, and heaven is sending signs to confirm it. You've started noticing patterns lately. Numbers that repeat, conversations that feel perfectly timed, dreams that echo what your heart has been hearing. These are not just spiritual coincidences, they are coordinates. God is guiding you with symbols, reminding you that you are not wandering, you are being led. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 22. The blessing of the Lord brings wealth, and he adds no sorrow with it. That is the difference between divine wealth and worldly wealth. The world gives gain with hidden grief. Heaven gives provision with peace. You are stepping into that kind of blessing, the kind that doesn't drain you but restores you. You won't have to sacrifice your joy to live in abundance, but God often sends signs before supply. And those signs may look subtle, almost ordinary, because heaven never performs for attention. It whispers to the discerning. When your heart stays still, you begin to recognize divine fingerprints in the smallest details, a sudden idea, an open door, a delay that turns out to be protection. This Tuesday, you may feel something stirring inside you, a gentle sense of readiness. That's heaven's indicator light. It means divine wealth has already begun to locate you. Sometimes the blessing doesn't arrive with noise. It arrives with knowing. You've been asking, how will I know when it's time? And heaven answers. You will feel peace. That's how the Spirit speaks peace. Not panic, clarity, not confusion. When peace lands on an idea, a decision, or a new path, it's heaven's way of saying, this is it. Pay attention to that inner peace. It will lead you more accurately than your logic. Because what's coming for you isn't earned by calculation, it's received through alignment. Divine wealth follows order, and your obedience creates that order. You will also begin to notice divine interruptions this week. Something unexpected will happen that tests your patience or changes your schedule. Don't see it as an inconvenience. Many times, interruptions are heaven's invitations. You might be rerouted to meet someone, to hear a word, or to notice something you would have missed. The signs are increasing because your appointed time is near. Heaven often sends more confirmations when you are close to manifestation. Every symbol, every repeated phrase, Every unexpected encouragement, it all forms a trail that leads to your breakthrough. Do not overanalyze the signs, though. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude. They are reminders, not puzzles. They are love notes from heaven saying, "I'm still guiding you. Keep walking." You are not just being prepared for wealth, you are being trained to carry it with awareness. This is not about money chasing you blindly, it's about heaven trusting you fully. Wealth without wisdom destroys, but wealth with discernment multiplies. Chosen one. Divine wealth wants to find a trustworthy heart, and you have proven yours through the seasons of lack, patience, and faith. You have sown consistency, even when results seemed invisible. That's why heaven is increasing the signs, because readiness attracts revelation. This week, you might feel called to make a small but bold move. It could be reaching out to someone, starting something you've delayed, or saying yes to an opportunity that scares you a little. That's your confirmation moment. When divine wealth chases you, it will often ask, will you stop running long enough to receive? So pause today. Let gratitude rise. The same God who began this work in you is faithful to complete it. The signs you are seeing are not teasing you. They are announcing that fulfillment is on the way. Before you move forward, mark this moment with faith. Heaven responds to prophetic agreement. So right now, take a breath, center your heart, and seal your alignment publicly. Comment the number 555 below if you feel the signs of divine wealth already drawing near. This number represents grace multiplied, transformation unfolding, and change that no longer frightens you. When you write it, you are saying to heaven, I see the signs, and I'm ready. Write it not for me, but for your own spirit to record your yes in visible form. The act of declaring it is faith turned into motion, and faith in motion always attracts manifestation. Divine wealth is chasing you faster than you realize, and now, heaven is making sure you can see it coming. When you write 555, you're declaring that grace is no longer distant, it's active. Those numbers become a doorway, a spiritual agreement saying, I'm aligned with change, and I welcome heaven's flow. Typing 555 isn't superstition, it's symbolism. It marks your transition, your surrender, your readiness. Heaven sees that public act of faith and begins releasing blessings already carrying your name. There is a quiet battle that lives inside every chosen soul. The battle between faith and fear, calling and comfort, obedience and hesitation. You felt it many times, the tension between knowing God has called you to abundance and feeling unworthy to step into it. This conflict isn't a flaw, it's proof that you're alive in spirit. Heaven doesn't wrestle with those it hasn't marked. For too long, you feared prosperity, not because you dislike blessings, but because you've seen how many lose themselves in them. You've watched people change when the spotlight arrived, hearts growing cold, compassion replaced by pride, and secretly, you told yourself, I'd rather stay small than risk losing my soul. But that thought, though humble on the surface, has limited your destiny. Heaven never designed wealth to corrupt you. It designed it to serve you. The problem has never been possession, it's perspective. Wealth becomes dangerous only when it stops flowing. When it turns from river to reservoir, from tool to trophy, it begins to decay. You, chosen one, were not meant to hoard light. You were meant to carry it forward, as Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 21. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. This truth pierces straight through the illusions of the world. What you treasure reveals who you are becoming. That's why God has been testing your heart before trusting your hands with abundance. Heaven needed to ensure that when divine wealth arrived, it would find a steward, not a slave. Many have misunderstood this process. They think the delay in prosperity is punishment, but in reality, it's purification. God purifies motives before multiplying blessings. He wants to be sure that when He places influence in your grasp, you won't worship the gift instead of the giver. Chosen one. The fear you've carried that abundance might change you is valid, but misplaced. It will not change who you are. It will reveal who you've always been. The same heart that prayed in secret will lead with integrity and abundance. The same humility that endured scarcity will keep you grounded in success. Divine wealth does not expose weakness, it amplifies character. You've often said, "Lord, I only need enough to survive." But God didn't call you to survival. He called you to stewardship. Survival focuses on getting through. Stewardship focuses on giving through. You are not meant to simply sustain, you are meant to overflow. The light inside you was never for your corner alone. It was meant to ignite cities. Every seed of compassion, every word of encouragement, every moment you gave without recognition, those were deposits into your heavenly account. Now, the return is due. God isn't trying to make you rich for luxury. He's preparing you to manage resources for legacy. Your influence will not end with you, it will outlive you. Think of divine wealth like the wind. You can't see it, but you can feel its movement. You can't control its origin, but you can set your sails to catch it. Fear closes the sail, faith opens it wide. The moment you stop fearing abundance, the wind begins to move again. Heaven has been waiting for you to lift your sail and say, "Lord, I trust you with more." There's a sacred balance you must hold, hands open enough to receive, yet light enough to release. God never meant wealth to weigh you down. He meant it to give your purpose wings. Prosperity in His kingdom is not excess, it's empowerment. It's the ability to respond to need without hesitation, to fund vision without fear. You will notice a shift soon. Opportunities will multiply, not because you've become greedy, but because you've become ready. Heaven promotes those who prove faithful in the small. Every time you resisted bitterness, forgave quickly, and gave quietly, you were passing tests unseen. Divine wealth is the diploma of spiritual maturity. It's heaven's way of saying, "You've learned what matters." This next season will not test your endurance, it will test your trust. Can you hold abundance without letting it hold you? Can you walk in influence without losing intimacy with God? The answer, if you stay anchored, will be yes. Chosen one, wealth is not the threat, forgetfulness is. Never forget where your help comes from, who opened the doors, who turned your wilderness into a well. Gratitude is the chain that keeps blessing tethered to humility. The moment you stop being thankful, you stop growing, but as long as your gratitude flows, so will your blessings. So, breathe deeply. Release the fear that wealth will corrupt you. Let heaven show you what it looks like when holiness and abundance coexist. You are not being called to choose between faith and prosperity. You are being invited to merge them. That union will become your testimony, your light, your legacy. You will learn that divine wealth was never about having more. It was about becoming more. As your heart expands, so does heaven's trust. Prosperity will follow purity, and generosity will prove your readiness. You are beginning to see a pattern now. Every time you take a step in faith, the world around you seems to respond. Doors open, resources appear, connections form out of nowhere. What used to feel like coincidence now feels deliberate, because it is. Heaven has its own economy, one not based on inflation or currency, but on obedience and trust. You are learning that divine wealth doesn't move according to markets, it moves according to momentum in the spirit. The world tells you that wealth depends on labor, hustle, and competition. But the kingdom operates differently. In heaven's system, rest is not laziness, it is alignment. Obedience is not weakness, it is strategy. The reason divine wealth is chasing you is because you have finally stopped chasing what was never meant to be yours. You have surrendered the world's system for heaven's sequence. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 8, verse 18. But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms His covenant, which He swore to your ancestors. This verse is more than ancient instruction, it is a divine key. It reminds you that wealth itself is a covenant symbol, a visible sign of invisible faithfulness. When heaven pours out blessing, it's not random, it's relational. Every act of divine provision is a love letter signed by promise. You must unlearn the scarcity that the world taught you. The earth says, there isn't enough, but heaven says, there is always overflow. The world says, protect what you have, but heaven says, give, and it shall be given to you. The world builds walls around resources, heaven builds rivers through them. Chosen one, when you operate from heaven's economy, fear loses power. You no longer calculate your future by your paycheck, but by God's provision. You stop worrying about how because you know who, and that who is the source behind every open door. Look around you. Every creation from the air you breathe to the sunlight that warms your skin exists in abundance. Nature doesn't hoard, it multiplies. The tree doesn't fight for soil, it simply stands, and the earth feeds it. The ocean doesn't strive to fill itself, the tides obey a higher rhythm. Likewise, you are invited to live by that same rhythm, trusting the unseen cycle of divine supply. Heaven's economy is not driven by competition, it's driven by contribution. The more you release, the more you receive, the more you trust, the more you attract. This is not magic, it's divine mathematics. Generosity multiplies what greed reduces. Gratitude turns small portions into feast. That's why divine wealth follows thankful hearts. When you align with heaven's system, lack becomes a language you no longer speak. You stop saying, I don't have enough, and start declaring, everything I need is on its way. That declaration is not denial, it's design. Words build worlds, and heaven honors those who speak from faith, not fear. You are entering a season where heaven will teach you to manage resources differently. Not by instinct, but by instruction. Some opportunities will look lucrative but lack longevity. Others will appear small but carry divine multiplication. You'll need discernment to recognize which belongs to you. Remember, heaven's blessings don't compete for your peace. What belongs to you will flow naturally, without force or fatigue. Divine wealth will not only fill your hands, it will refine your habits. You will learn to treat time like treasure and integrity like currency. You'll stop trading your peace for progress and begin understanding that true prosperity includes rest, joy, and alignment. Chosen one, your new understanding of wealth will confuse some. They will measure prosperity by possessions, but you will measure it by purpose. While others chase numbers, you will chase meaning. You will understand that every resource is an assignment, not an ornament. Money is not your master, it is your messenger, carrying impact wherever you send it. When you operate from heaven's economy, you will walk in quiet confidence. You won't boast, and you won't beg. You'll know that provision is your covenant, not your coincidence. What flows from heaven cannot be stolen, only stewarded. So step into this understanding without fear. Let go of comparison, competition, and control. You are not running in the world's race, you are walking in heaven's rhythm. The blessings that belong to you have already recognized your name. They are traveling through systems, through people, through places, drawn by divine gravity to your obedience. You no longer have to chase them, just stay aligned, stay grateful, stay anchored. Divine wealth is not about earning more, it's about becoming more faithful, more discerning, more generous. Heaven's economy never collapses, never inflates, never fails. It only expands with every act of trust. And now, it expands through you. You will soon realize heaven's economy has no shortage, only flow. As you keep your heart open and your motives pure, you'll become both vessel and vessel filler, carrying endless streams of divine abundance. Chosen one. Heaven is teaching you the language of faith transactions, the spiritual exchange where belief becomes currency. You are no longer living by what you can see. You are living by what you can speak. Every word of faith is a seed, every declaration a deposit. The invisible realm listens to your tone, not your timeline. When your heart aligns with heaven's will, your words begin to create what your hands will later hold. For years, you thought faith was only emotion, a fleeting feeling in moments of worship. But now you understand that faith is economy. It's how heaven transfers unseen resources into visible form. Each time you speak from conviction instead of fear, you authorize movement in the spiritual realm. Your obedience is the signature that approves the transaction. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 18. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. That truth separates the ordinary from the chosen. Most people live reacting to what they see. The chosen live responding to what they believe. The world calls it risk, heaven calls it faith. And that faith, steady, spoken, and sustained, is what builds spiritual credit before divine wealth is released. You've been learning to speak differently, not with complaint, but with command. You no longer say, if it happens, but when it happens. You no longer beg for provision, you bless it into existence. The power that raised you out of despair is the same power that creates increase when your faith agrees with God's word. This is why the enemy fights your speech. If he can silence your declaration, he can freeze your destiny. But now, you've learned that silence can no longer serve you. When you speak in faith, you break through ceilings that logic built. Your tongue becomes a key that unlocks unseen vaults. Chosen one, heaven listens when you talk. Angels are activated by your agreement. When you declare abundance, they begin to align resources. When you declare favor, they begin to rearrange pathways. This is not superstition, it is spiritual law. Your voice carries authority because it carries heaven's signature. Faith transactions are not about convincing God, they're about convincing your own spirit. Heaven already said yes. You are the one catching up to it. Each time you speak what heaven already promised, you're withdrawing what was always in your account. So stop worrying about how long it takes. In God's economy, delay does not mean decline, it means development. Every waiting season strengthens your credit of trust. Heaven never forgets what faith deposits. There are moments coming soon when you will need to speak with boldness again. It might be over your finances, your health, your dream, or your family. Don't shrink back into silence. Your voice carries inheritance. Use it. Every declaration plants a future. Faith isn't only spoken in prayer, it's proven in response. When opportunity comes, take it. When peace confirms, move forward. When fear whispers, what if it fails, answer back. What if it flourishes? That's the language of faith transactions, action wrapped in assurance. Divine wealth will follow this rhythm: revelation, declaration, manifestation. Heaven reveals it, you declare it, and in time, it appears. But if you skip the middle, if you stay silent, the cycle pauses. Your voice is the bridge between unseen promise and visible proof. You have enough faith for this next season. You've been tested, refined, and trained to speak from conviction, not emotion. So now, let your declarations become divine deposits. If your spirit feels this alignment, if you can sense that heaven is prompting you to speak life again, then mark this moment with agreement. Comment, "I believe now." When you write those 3 words, you are not typing out hope. You are signing a covenant. You are saying, "I will no longer doubt the divine transaction already in motion." You are sending faith into the atmosphere, giving angels permission to act on your behalf. Every miracle begins with a moment like this, when the chosen one chooses belief again. Speak it, write it, and watch divine wealth respond. When you comment, "I believe now," you're not just echoing words, you're activating movement. Those 3 words create permission in the spirit realm, signaling heaven that you've crossed from hesitation into faith. Writing "I believe now" means you've stopped waiting for proof and started trusting the promise. It's your declaration that you will no longer question timing, but instead, walk with quiet confidence that what's unseen is already unfolding. Every time you declare "I believe now," light floods the very spaces where doubt once lived. Heaven records it as a covenant. Angels treat it as an instruction, and your own heart feels peace rush in. The unseen begins to take shape. From this moment on, your belief becomes the bridge. Every "I believe now" builds another step between promise and fulfillment. Walk across it boldly. Divine wealth is already waiting on the other side. Chosen one, the time has come to break the patterns that have bound generations. For too long, your bloodline has lived under invisible ceiling cycles of lack, fear, and limitation that whispered, "This is all you'll ever have." But you were not sent to repeat history. You were sent to rewrite it. The chains that others accepted as normal will snap beneath your obedience. Your lineage has known struggle, but heaven has chosen you as the interruption. Every act of faith you make doesn't just bless you, it travels backward, redeeming what was lost, and forward, unlocking what's next. When you walk in divine wealth, you're not just prospering, you're healing the narrative of your entire family. We find in the book of Galatians, chapter 3, verse 14, "He redeemed us in order that the blessing given to Abraham might come to the Gentiles through Christ Jesus, so that by faith we might receive the promise of the Spirit." That blessing wasn't meant to end with Abraham, it was meant to continue through generations. Reaching you, you carry the same covenant, the same creative breath of heaven. Divine wealth is your inheritance. Not because of your labor, but because of your lineage in faith. And you were born into promise, not poverty. Chosen one, heaven is turning your family's mourning into momentum. What they lost through fear, you will recover through faith. The resources they never saw, you will attract naturally because you've broken the cycle of disbelief. When you said yes to God, your yes echoed through the generations, waking up dormant blessings buried in your family's story. But understand, this breaking generational patterns isn't only about spiritual warfare. It's about practical obedience. It's about walking differently, thinking differently, giving differently. Heaven uses your generosity as a hammer that smashes the walls of limitation. Each act of giving time, love, prayer, support rewrites destiny. You've probably noticed by now that your journey is also awakening others. Your testimony becomes their permission slip. Every time you step into obedience, you make it easier for someone else to believe it's possible. That's how heaven multiplies miracles through shared courage. This is why it matters to share what touches your soul. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you're not just supporting a message, you're building a bridge for someone who's still in darkness. Think of it like lighting a lantern on a mountain trail so others can see the way out. The light you spread doesn't leave you dimmer. It makes the whole landscape brighter. And if your heart ever feels stirred to donate, let it be from joy, never guilt. Think of it as planting a tree whose shade you might never sit under, but whose fruit will feed another generation. Your giving is a continuation of what heaven is already doing in you. It's not a transaction, it's transformation. You're sowing into the very stream that has been quenching your own thirst. Each like becomes a spark of agreement. Each share becomes a ripple expanding the reach of heaven's voice. Each subscription is a promise that you'll stay connected to the river of revelation. And every donation, no matter the size, is a seed dropped into soil that never forgets. Heaven remembers every act done in love. Imagine divine wealth like a great symphony. Every instrument matters: the violin, the drum, the quiet hum of the harp. Some play loudly, others softly. Your role might be subtle, but without your note, the song is incomplete. That's what support looks like. Not obligation, but harmony. You are part of something alive, chosen one. A movement of voices waking the sleeping hearts of this world. When you choose to participate, when you give, share, or simply pray, you are keeping that music alive. The sound of faith, the rhythm of restoration, the melody of divine wealth, all of it flows stronger because you added your note. So if this message speaks to your spirit, carry it forward. Let it live through you. Like what resonates, share what stirs. Subscribe to stay in this rhythm of revelation. And if you ever feel led to donate, do it as a love song to the source. Heaven doesn't demand it, heaven delights in it. It's your generosity, whether digital or physical, silent or seen, keeps the river flowing. Each act of giving says, I will not let the stream stop with me. You become both the river and the rain, carrying refreshment to souls who forgot what hope feels like. Chosen one, this is how you break the generational curse, not by fighting endlessly, but by flowing generously. You give where fear used to hoard. You bless where doubt used to curse. You open your hands, and in that moment, heaven opens its vault. Your lineage is shifting even now. The ground beneath you is no longer cursed, it's consecrated. You are standing on redeemed soil, watered by your faith, ready for new fruit to grow. You are the bridge between what was broken and what will bloom. Every act of faith repairs history. Your obedience today becomes tomorrow's inheritance for generations yet unborn. When heaven decides to interrupt your routine, it rarely announces itself with thunder. It begins softly, like the quiet turning of the wind, like light shifting through clouds. One moment everything seems normal, and the next, your spirit feels different. That is how divine timing works. It does not warn you, it invites you. You have felt these interruptions lately, haven't you? Sudden urges to pause, to think, to withdraw from noise, a sense that something unseen is rearranging your path. It is not coincidence, it is divine interference. God is stepping into your schedule, altering the rhythm of your week to align you with purpose. You are not being delayed, you are being redirected. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 37, verse 23. The steps of a good person are ordered by the Lord, and He delights in their way. Each step, even the ones you thought were mistakes, has been guided by unseen hands. Heaven has been quietly editing your path so that nothing you've endured would be wasted. Every detour carried data. Every delay contained direction. And now, those fragments are converging into alignment. You might not recognize the pattern yet, but the threads are there. Think of your life as a tapestry still being woven. Up close, it looks chaotic, threads crossing, colors clashing, moments tangled, but from heaven's view, the design is flawless. What looked like random pain is forming prophetic symmetry. The same events that broke you are now binding your destiny together. Chosen one, divine interruption is heaven's way of saying, "You've been walking long enough. Now let me lead." The shifts you feel are not meant to scare you, they are meant to steer you. God never invades to punish, He invades to protect. Sometimes He closes doors, not because you failed, but because He knows what's behind them would fracture you. When heaven interrupts, your first reaction might be confusion. You might think, "But I was doing everything right." Yet interruption is not correction, it's elevation. It means you've outgrown a level, and heaven refuses to let you shrink to fit it again. What once felt comfortable now feels too small because your spirit has expanded beyond it. This week, pay attention to your restlessness. The areas that no longer fulfill you are prophetic hints. They are signs that heaven is moving you toward greater purpose. Don't resist the unease. Study it. Beneath every discomfort lies a divine direction. Divine interruption also exposes dependence. When your plans fall apart, you realize what you've been relying on. It teaches you to let go of control and rediscover trust. You learn that peace was never meant to come from predictability, it comes from presence. When heaven shifts your rhythm, your first impulse will be to regain control. But stillness, not struggle, will open the next door. The more you fight for your own plan, the longer you delay God's. Rest is not idleness, it's trust in motion. When you rest, you make room for divine orchestration. Look back at your past interruptions. Remember the times you thought everything was falling apart, only to realize later that it was falling into place. The same God who guided you through that valley is guiding you again. His interruptions are invitations disguised as inconveniences. Sometimes, the interruption comes through people. Someone leaves suddenly, or a new face appears. Pay attention. Every relationship heaven orchestrates carries a reason either to stretch you or to stabilize you. Learn to discern which is which. Not everyone who enters is meant to stay, and not everyone who exits is your enemy. Some departures are divine evacuations. As this new rhythm unfolds, be gentle with yourself. You are learning to dance with divine timing, to follow steps that don't always make sense in the moment. Trust that the same hand that interrupts will also instruct. Heaven never leaves you in confusion. It always leads you into clarity. Chosen one, the interruptions you're experiencing are evidence that heaven is close. When your life feels disrupted, it's because God is rearranging the furniture of your destiny to make space for something larger. You might not see the blueprint yet, but you can feel the expansion. Don't run from it. Rest in it. Your obedience in uncertainty is the highest form of worship. To say yes without knowing where it leads, that is faith in its purest form. The divine is not asking you to understand, only to trust. The path you cannot map is the one most saturated with miracles. So walk slowly through this week. Notice what shifts. Notice what no longer feels right. Those aren't coincidences, they are coordinates. Heaven is drawing new boundaries around your destiny. Every interruption is an invitation to intimacy. And when you look back one day, you'll see that every sudden change, every unexplained pause, every unexpected ending was heaven's way of saying, I love you too much to leave you where you were. There are moments in the journey of every chosen one when heaven confirms what the heart already knew. You begin to notice alignment so clear it almost feels surreal. People you haven't spoken to in years suddenly reach out. Opportunities arrive through unlikely doors. Things that used to resist you now seem to cooperate. It's not coincidence, it's confirmation. Heaven is responding to your readiness. You prayed for signs and now they surround you. The repeated words, the dreams, the inner nudges, they're not random. They're reminders. Divine wealth is no longer approaching from afar. It has entered your atmosphere. What you sense, what you see, what you feel, it's all heaven's way of whispering. You are in the flow now. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Those words are your anchor in this season. You fought hard, worked tirelessly, tried everything humanly possible. But this phase of blessing isn't earned by striving. It's sustained by stillness. Divine wealth finds rest, not restlessness. The more you quiet the noise, the louder heaven's instructions become. This week, expect confirmation to come through both peace and pattern. Heaven often repeats what it wants you to remember. That's why certain verses, certain songs, certain numbers keep finding you, their divine echoes. You're being marked for manifestation. Every repetition is heaven tapping your shoulder saying, yes, this is it. Keep walking. Chosen one, your confirmations won't always arrive wrapped in drama. Sometimes they appear as small, sacred moments, a conversation that melts your worry, a bill unexpectedly paid, a sense of calm where chaos used to live. Do not overlook them. Miracles often hide in moments the world calls ordinary. You've reached a spiritual threshold now. The tests that once terrified you will soon feel like training. The resistance that once frustrated you will make sense in hindsight. Every closed door taught discernment. Every delay purified motive. You can finally see that God's not yet was never no. It was mercy in disguise. Heaven confirms when you are ready to carry what you once only prayed for. That's why everything feels sharper now, colors, timing, awareness. You're living in the overlap between prophecy and performance. You're not waiting for blessing to come. You're walking inside it already. So, pay close attention to your peace. That peace is heaven's signature of approval. When you feel it settle over a decision, that's confirmation. When confusion leaves without reason, that's confirmation. You are learning to recognize divine fingerprints without needing the thunder. This is a holy stage of the journey. Chosen one. Heaven is no longer just speaking to you, it's speaking through you. Your very presence is becoming a prophetic message to others. You've become proof that patience pays and that surrender is not weakness but wisdom. And now, to seal this awareness in your spirit, heaven calls for a visible act of agreement. It's not about superstition, it's about symbolism. A way to say, I understand the signs, and I receive the season. Comment the number 888 below. This number symbolizes infinite abundance, new beginnings without endings, and the never-ending flow of divine provision. It represents the eternal cycle of giving and receiving what heaven pours in. You pour out, and what you pour out returns multiplied. When you write 888, you're declaring that your life has entered perpetual overflow. It means you have moved beyond waiting into walking, beyond asking into accepting. You are saying to heaven, I no longer chase, I cooperate. Write it with intention. Each 8 forms a circle, reminding you that the blessings coming your way have no beginning and no end. They are continual, just like grace. The moment you comment, Heaven sees agreement and alignment deepens. Chosen one, this is confirmation. Divine wealth has found you, recognized you, and decided to stay. When you comment 8888, you're opening a gate, not just leaving a number. Each curve of that figure mirrors eternity, heaven's endless loop of giving and returning. It's your quiet agreement that you belong inside that divine circulation. Typing 8888 is a faith act, not a formula. It tells the universe, I trust the infinite flow. You're declaring that lack can no longer linger because your source is eternal and your heart has become receptive ground. Every 888 becomes a symbol of rhythm, the inhale and exhale of heaven. You receive, you release, and as you release, more arrives. It's divine mathematics written through your fingertips. Abundance now learns your name by heart. Writing 8888 reminds heaven that you remember who provides. You are not asking for miracles. You're acknowledging their existence. Gratitude becomes the new gravity, pulling every provision closer with gentle, unforced certainty. And when you release 8888, angels register your obedience. The atmosphere shifts. The flow increases. You step fully into continuous grace. No breaks, no barriers, no endings, only the ongoing river of divine wealth overtaking you completely. You are learning now what few ever understand, that walking in divine wealth requires more than faith to receive. It requires wisdom to sustain. Many can call blessings down, but few can carry them without breaking. That is why heaven has been shaping your habits in silence. The blessings that are coming demand structure strong enough to hold glory. There is an art to stewardship, and heaven is teaching it to you. It begins with reverence. Everything you hold, every opportunity, every resource, it all belongs to God. You are not the owner, you are the caretaker. You are entrusted, not entitled. When you live from that awareness, wealth loses the power to corrupt you. According to what is written in the book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 10, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. These words carry the weight of divine accountability. Heaven watches how you handle what you already have before releasing what you've been praying for. If you can honor the small, heaven knows it can trust you with the great. That's why divine wealth doesn't rush. It observes. It waits for integrity to mature before increase arrives. Stewardship is not about restriction, it's about revelation. When you treat your blessings with care, new levels of insight begin to unfold. You start to notice patterns in purpose, reasons behind resources. You realize that heaven doesn't bless randomly. It invests strategically. Every gift you receive is meant to multiply, not merely decorate your life. Chosen one, maturity is the bridge between provision and overflow. Heaven is not testing your worthiness, it's training your wisdom. The spiritual discipline you're learning now is the infrastructure for the abundance that follows. Without that structure, uneven blessings can become burdens. But with it, wealth becomes worship. You may have noticed lately that God has been adjusting your focus. You are thinking more long-term, speaking with more intention, spending with more awareness. These are not just practical shifts, they're prophetic ones. Heaven is aligning your internal world to match the abundance it's sending externally. The mindset must mature before the miracle manifests. To walk worthy of wealth, you must understand that increase comes with influence, and influence demands integrity. The greater your reach, the more people draw strength or stumble from your example. That is why heaven polishes you quietly before presenting you publicly. Every unseen correction, every private conviction, every quiet course adjustment, it all protects your future impact. This next phase of divine wealth will not just fill your life, it will flow through it. You are being prepared to manage blessings as a builder, not as a consumer. Builders think differently. They plan, they plant, they preserve. You are shifting from receiving miracles to becoming a miracle for others. Think of stewardship like gardening. You don't just collect seeds, you tend to soil. You water daily, prune carefully, and wait patiently. The harvest always reflects the discipline of the gardener. Heaven is teaching you that same rhythm, how to nurture opportunity, protect purity, and multiply generosity. This wisdom will serve you well. There will be seasons when resources arrive in abundance and seasons when heaven instructs you to hold back and recalibrate. Both are necessary. Overflow without order leads to waste. Order without overflow leads to stagnation. You are learning the divine balance between the two. Your calling demands more than charisma. It demands consistency. The light of prosperity will reveal what the darkness of lack once hid. Stay anchored. Stay teachable. The humble heart never runs out of resources because it never runs out of room to learn. Heaven trusts stewards who remain students. Every new level of increase requires new levels of obedience. You cannot manage future favor with outdated habits. That's why the Spirit keeps whispering for you to evolve, to manage your time wisely, to listen before spending, to pray before deciding. These small acts of discipline open enormous gates of blessing. Chosen one, wealth in the kingdom is not measured by what you gather, but by what you govern. Your legacy will not be counted in coins, but in the lives transformed through your faithfulness. Divine wealth is not accumulation, it's acceleration, the ability to propel others forward through what God entrusts to you. So continue walking in awareness. Treat every opportunity as sacred. Speak blessing over what's in your hand now, and watch it multiply in ways beyond your imagination. The maturity you're cultivating will become the magnet for even greater miracles. You are not just receiving abundance, you are becoming responsible for it. And when heaven finds a heart that can handle both blessing and burden with grace, it opens its vault without hesitation. When you master stewardship, heaven no longer measures by need, it measures by trust. Your wisdom becomes the invitation for greater favor, and what once seemed scarce becomes endlessly sustainable. Divine wealth was never just for comfort, it was for continuation. Through you, heaven funds hope, builds futures, and proves that obedience always multiplies miracles. Something new is stirring in your hands. Chosen one. It's quiet at first, like a pulse beneath the skin of reality, small, steady, certain. You are carrying the anointing for multiplication. What once seemed scarce now trembles with potential. Every seed you've sown, every prayer whispered into the dark soil of faith is beginning to sprout. Multiplication is not a miracle that happens outside you, it's one that happens through you. Heaven doesn't pour increase from the clouds, it draws it from the vessels that are willing. You are that vessel now. God is showing you that expansion is a language of trust. If He can stretch your faith, He can stretch your reach. We read in the second book of Kings, chapter 4, verse 3. Go borrow vessels from all your neighbors, even empty ones. Do not gather just a few. That command was never only for the widow. It was for everyone who has known emptiness and still dared to believe. Heaven always multiplies inside borrowed faith. The oil doesn't stop until the vessels run out. And now, you are surrounded by vessels waiting for your obedience to fill them. The miracle of multiplication begins with gratitude. Jesus broke bread and thanked God before the bread multiplied. Gratitude is the breath that awakens increase. When you give thanks for what looks small, Heaven hears readiness for what is greater. Thankfulness tells the universe, I see promise even in fragments. You have fragments in your life right now, ideas half built, dreams half funded, relationships half healed. But fragments are heaven's raw material. God never wastes what you still possess. He simply asks, will you lift it when you offer what remains? He breathes on it, and the ordinary becomes outrageous. Do not despise small beginnings. The smallest spark still knows how to ignite forests. One act of courage, one moment of obedience, can ripple through generations. The anointing for multiplication is not about abundance dropping into your lap. It's about heaven magnifying what your hands already hold. Chosen one, heaven multiplies through motion. When you step, the path appears. When you build, the resources arrive. When you speak, the echo gathers strength. The unseen watches the faithful move, and the movement itself becomes magnet. Multiplication doesn't chase those who wait, it meets those who walk. You are learning that miracles require management. The oil keeps flowing only if you make room. Space is faith made visible. Every time you clear out fear, forgive a wound, or release a burden, you create capacity for the next wave of increase. Empty vessels don't represent lack, they represent readiness. In this season, God is stretching your definition of enough. Enough is not survival, it's overflow. You will feed more than yourself with what is coming. Ideas will multiply into businesses. Words will multiply into influence. Peace will multiply into generations. You are not receiving a blessing. You are becoming one. But be gentle with the process. Multiplication is not an explosion, it's an unfolding. Flowers do not bloom in haste. Rivers do not form overnight. Heaven multiplies at the pace your soul can handle. Trust the rhythm. Some increases arrive as sudden rain. Others grow like roots beneath soil, unseen but unstoppable. You will look back and realize that nothing grew by chance. Every delay, every detour was irrigation. God was watering you in silence, preparing you to sustain what was still invisible. When it finally blossoms, it will feel inevitable, as if it was always there waiting for your awareness to catch up. So breathe. Stretch your faith a little wider. The oil has not run out, it has barely begun. You are standing in the same story as that widow, the same miracle rewritten through modern hands. Heaven is asking you to bring more vessels, not just physical ones, but vessels of vision, of kindness, of courage. Fill them all, and as you pour, remember multiplication isn't measured by numbers but by nourishment. What multiplies through you must feed lives, restore hope, and echo love. That is true increase. The divine doesn't multiply greed, it multiplies goodness. Chosen one, lift what you have, bless it, and begin to pour. The miracle is already in motion. You will discover that every act of pouring heals something unseen. What flows from your obedience mends what years of striving could not. The more you give, the stronger you grow, for heaven refills those who refuse to close their hands. As you keep pouring, fear will fade. You'll realize the oil never depended on your ability, only your availability. Miracles don't run out. They run over when faith remains steady. The same God who began the flow will maintain it without fail. In time, you'll stop counting blessings and start carrying them. Multiplication will become your nature, not your event. Everything you touch will echo expansion, and your life itself will become proof that surrender always leads to supernatural increase. You are no longer waiting for miracles, you are walking as one. Every breath, every word, every step releases overflow. Heaven's rhythm and your obedience now move as a single, endless stream of grace. Chosen one, you stand now on holy ground between testing and triumph. The final stretch before overflow is never about what you can gain, it's about what you can release. Heaven is watching not to judge you, but to trust you with more. Sometimes the last test before abundance is simply this: can you let go? God never asks for what you can't surrender. He only asks for what still claims your heart. The final test of trust feels subtle. It comes as a whisper, not a warning, a prompting to forgive one more time, to give when it feels inconvenient, to speak peace when you'd rather stay silent. These are the gateways of greatness, disguised as gentle choices. As the apostle wrote in his letter to the Philippians, chapter 2, verse 13, "For it is God who works in you both to will and to act according to his good purpose." That's why this test isn't about performance, it's about partnership. Heaven is not demanding something from you, it's doing something through you. Your obedience becomes the bridge between heaven's intention and earth's manifestation. You have walked a long road to reach this place. You faced storms that stripped your certainty, valleys that humbled your ambition, and nights that taught you how to pray without words. Now, the dawn approaches, and with it, abundance. But abundance requires trust, not in systems, not in timing, but in the same God who carried you when you could not carry yourself. This final test is not harsh, it's holy. It asks, will you trust me with everything? Even the parts you can't control. Because when you loosen your grip, heaven's hands move freely. What you release doesn't disappear, it multiplies. Surrender is not loss, it's leverage. This is the moment where giving becomes glory. Not because heaven needs your offering, but because giving transforms your heart into an open gate. And when your heart is open, blessings never stop flowing. If these words have found your spirit today, take them as a mirror. See how far you've come, how much lighter your heart feels, how much more you've learned to breathe without fear. You've become a vessel of divine rhythm. Inhale grace. Exhale generosity. When you like, when you share, when you subscribe, you are not following a routine, you're keeping the river alive. Think of it like striking a tuning fork that keeps the melody of faith resonating. Each act of engagement sends ripples across unseen waters, carrying the sound of hope farther than you can measure. And if one day you feel led to donate, let it be from delight, not duty. Giving is not payment, it's poetry. It's your way of writing gratitude into motion, like a gardener placing seeds in the earth. You're not losing them, you're trusting that spring will remember your hands. Imagine your support as a lighthouse flame, steady, quiet, guiding unseen ships through night. Your like is light, your share is shoreline, your subscription is the steady beam that keeps this flame burning. And your donation, if your heart desires, becomes the oil that makes sure the light never flickers out for those still searching in the dark. This isn't obligation, it's invitation. A chance to participate in something that moves beyond you. Every word you share carries a soul somewhere closer to peace. Every quiet act of generosity becomes a chapter in someone else's redemption story. You have walked with me through revelation and refinement, through waiting and awakening. Each section of this journey has been a step toward this realization. Divine wealth is not what you hold, it's what you're willing to release. Heaven isn't just blessing you, it's trusting you, and that trust is sacred. Now handle it gently, joyfully, faithfully. So as you breathe in these words, let gratitude flow out. If your heart stirs, act on it, however small, however symbolic. Whether it's a comment that encourages, a share that uplifts, a subscription that connects. or a donation that sustains. Do it with peace, not pressure. Let it be art, not obligation. Because when generosity is born from love, it ceases to be transaction and becomes transformation. Chosen one, the final test is not to prove your worth, it's to prove your willingness. The heavens are opening wider. Your surrender is the key, your love the offering, and your faith the fragrance that rises to meet God's promise. You are ready now, and heaven, watching quietly, smiles. And now, as this word settles into your spirit, let it become a living declaration, a final whisper between you and heaven. Comment, "I trust completely." Those 3 words are not mere text. They're a key turned in a divine lock. When you write them, you're saying, "I no longer cling. I consent to the current." You step out of striving and into surrender. Typing "I trust completely" becomes your final offering in this season, an invisible seed planted into eternity's soil. Heaven reads it as faith made visible, a signature that says, "I am ready for what comes next." And as you do, peace will rise quietly inside you. You'll feel the invisible shift, like the moment before sunrise when everything glows but nothing blinds. The test is over. Trust has won. There comes a moment, chosen one, when the chase finally ends. Not because heaven has stopped moving, but because you have stopped running. After all the striving, the praying, the endless cycle of pursuit, you stand still and realize divine wealth was never ahead of you. It was always within you, waiting for recognition. You no longer feel the frantic pull to prove yourself. You no longer rush to open every door or answer every call. There is a deep calm now, a quiet knowing that everything truly meant for you will find its way without force. That stillness is not emptiness, it is arrival. You have stepped into overflow, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in Psalm 23, verse 5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Those ancient words describe exactly where you are. Heaven has set a table not behind you, not beyond you, but before you. You are surrounded by both proof and peace. The same oil that once marked you for struggle now marks you for stewardship. You are no longer the one reaching. You are the one receiving. Divine wealth has overtaken you quietly. It didn't arrive with fireworks, but with peace. You woke one morning and realized that what you prayed for no longer felt distant, it felt daily. Your needs are met before you articulate them. Your steps feel guided without overthinking. You are living in the rhythm of grace, and grace does not rush. This is what overflow feels like, not chaos, but clarity. Not more noise, but more meaning. You see value in stillness, purpose in pauses, wisdom in waiting. The same moments that used to feel empty now shine with quiet revelation. You're beginning to understand that abundance isn't about quantity, it's about contentment saturated with divine presence. Chosen one. Heaven didn't just want to bless your hands, it wanted to anchor your heart. Because what good is abundance if anxiety still rules within peace was the first form of prosperity. And now it dwells permanently inside you. You have found the balance between doing and being, between receiving and resting. Overflow is not excess, it's extension. It means you have more than enough love to give, more than enough hope to share, more than enough peace to calm storms. It means your heart no longer contracts under pressure, it expands in generosity. What you carry now is contagious light, and the world around you begins to glow in response. This new phase of divine wealth doesn't shout, it whispers. The blessings are subtle but constant. The more you notice them, the more they multiply. Gratitude becomes your gravity, keeping you grounded while heaven continues to pour. Every breath feels like a blessing, every sunrise like a personal letter from God saying, "I haven't forgotten you." You've stopped counting and started communing. Your prayers no longer sound like lists. They sound like conversation. You no longer chase confirmation because peace itself has become your proof. You finally understand the chase was never about the wealth, it was about awakening. You see now why the journey had to unfold the way it did. If the blessing had come earlier, it might have owned you. But now, you own the wisdom to handle it. You've learned to measure success not by accumulation, but by alignment. You've discovered that the richest moments are the ones filled with meaning, not possessions. Chosen one, your overflow will teach others what chasing never could. People will ask how you found such calm in a world addicted to hurry. You'll smile, because you know the secret. You stopped running. You learned that surrender was not defeat, it was direction. Now, when you move, it's with purpose. When you give, it's with joy. When you rest, it's without guilt. You are walking embodiment of balance, proof that divine wealth doesn't corrupt, it completes. This Tuesday may come and go like any other day, but the awareness you now carry will not fade. The chase has turned into companionship. Heaven walks with you step by step. You are no longer praying for abundance, you're praying from it. So breathe slowly. Look around. The table is set, the cup is full, and the oil still glistens on your head. You are home in the flow that once felt foreign. And as the day unfolds, remember, divine wealth is not chasing you anymore, because it has found where it belongs. You have become the resting place of blessings. What once felt like pursuit is now partnership. Heaven moves as you move, breathes as you breathe, creating a seamless rhythm between divine purpose and human peace. Overflow no longer surprises you, it sustains you. You live in the awareness that nothing missing means nothing wasted. Everything around you hums with the quiet confidence of divine provision. You have finally stopped running. The chase is over, the circle complete. Abundance and peace intertwine, and your soul, once restless, now beats in perfect harmony with heaven's eternal flow. There is a hush that falls after fulfillment, the kind of silence that feels alive with meaning. You stand in it now, chosen one. It isn't the silence of absence, it's the silence of arrival. The storm has passed, the waiting has served its purpose, and you can finally hear yourself breathe without fear. What you chased has settled around you like air. You have become the evidence that obedience always wins. Heaven never meant for you to strive forever. The chase was never punishment, it was preparation. Each delay trained your discernment. Each disappointment polished your heart until it could reflect the light it was destined to hold. Now, divine wealth no longer runs ahead of you or hides behind horizon lines. It dwells within you, speaking softly through your peace. You once measured success by how far you could reach, how much you could gather, how visible your blessings looked. But now, your understanding has deepened. Wealth is not about distance or display, it's about depth. It's knowing that everything you truly need already exists within the stillness of your faith. As it is written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 32, verse 18. My people will live in peaceful dwelling places, in secure homes, in undisturbed places of rest. That promise is your present reality. You have become the dwelling place of peace. You have learned that true prosperity is not having more to manage, it is having nothing left to fear. The chaos that once pulled at your emotions no longer holds power. You've walked through the fire, and instead of ashes, you carry glow. This is the beauty of divine wealth. It reshapes you before it rewards you. It doesn't come to decorate your life. It comes to define it. It turns survival into strategy, waiting into wisdom, emptiness into expectancy. The person you've become is far richer than anything you could have owned. Chosen one, look back once more, not to mourn, but to marvel. The version of you that trembled at the unknown could never have imagined this calm. The one who doubted their worth now moves with quiet certainty. What changed you did. The chase taught you trust. The loss taught you language. The silence taught you how to listen for God in the soft spaces between seconds. You are walking in fulfillment, and fulfillment doesn't roar, it rests. You don't need to prove that you've arrived. The peace around you proves it for you. Your glow is no longer loud, it's luminous. People will feel it before they understand it. They will ask where it comes from, and you will smile, because you'll know it came from surrender. Divine wealth now moves through your life like a tide, steady. Sure, unforced. You've stopped praying for open doors because you've realized you are the door. Where you go, heaven flows. When you speak, heaven sends wind. The difference is no longer between sacred and secular, it's between aware and unaware. And you, chosen one, are fully awake. Your story will become a guide for others still running. You won't need to preach, your peace will do the speaking. You'll show them that chasing ends not when you catch what you want, but when you trust what's coming. That's the secret. Trust, not toil, builds the bridge to abundance. In this final phase of divine fulfillment, everything slows into sacred rhythm. You'll notice beauty in simple things again, the way sunlight lands on your table, the way laughter sounds softer, the way stillness hums with presence. These are not small moments. They are heaven's way of reminding you that rest is wealth too. You have become both student and steward, vessel and voice. You no longer seek signs because you have become one. When people see you, they see what happens when divine pursuit and human surrender meet in perfect harmony. Chosen one, divine wealth is no longer chasing you, it's living through you. You are both destination and distribution. The river flows without resistance, the light burns without exhaustion, and your faith breathes without fear. Heaven trusted you with increase, and you have proven faithful. Now, you will live not from miracle to miracle, but from meaning to meaning. The greatest reward was never the wealth, it was the wisdom to carry it well. The journey ends not with applause, but with awareness. You were never running to the blessing was always running through you to Sem, and now, that flow is eternal. You will find that eternity isn't distant, it's daily. Every ordinary breath carries the shimmer of the divine. Each step you take leaves behind traces of grace for others to follow quietly. You are the proof that heaven invests in humanity. The sacred and the simple meet in you. Your life itself becomes prayer. Your peace becomes prophecy for generations unseen. And as the light continues flowing through you, know this truth. Blessings never end. They only evolve. You are both the seed and the sunlight, the everlasting evidence of divine wealth fulfilled. If this journey has met your spirit somewhere between struggle and surrender, let that connection live on. These words were never meant to end on a page, they were meant to continue in you. Every time you return here, the message deepens, reshapes, and renews. When you like, when you share, when you comment, when you subscribe, though you keep the flame breathing. Think of it not as routine, but as rhythm. Every interaction becomes an echo in eternity, a way of saying, "This light helped me. May it reach another." And if ever your heart feels moved to donate, let it be a whisper, not a weight. Imagine it as placing one more candle on the altar so the light burns longer for souls still walking in darkness. What you release returns as radiant peace, multiplied in ways unseen. Your participation is never pressure, it's partnership. Every click, every gesture, every seed of support keeps this sanctuary of words alive. It's how the river continues its flow, how heaven's message travels beyond screens into hearts. So stay connected, stay tender, stay awake. Let your generosity, whether time, thought, or resource, be art offered to the source. For when gratitude moves through giving, the cycle of divine wealth remains unbroken. Thank you for walking this path, for reading with your heart open, for believing that hope can still speak in human language. You are part of this unfolding story now, the continuation of a voice that began long before us and will keep singing long after. Like to honor the message, share to carry the flame, comment to affirm your awakening. Subscribe to stay near the flow, and give, if you wish, to keep the river alive. The story isn't over, it's just finding new voices through you.